Hey, what's up, everyone? Jonathan Allen here at Floodwater Studios. Today, we're going to talk about something that plagues many, many musicians, including myself. Let's hop into this. Before we hop into everything here, if you're looking into starting your very first home studio, or even if you have one and you are looking to expand what you have already, I highly suggest you go to floodwaterstudios.com/home studio and grab our free home studio equipment guide. It's got personal recommendations from me with equipment in every price point, looking for any type of budget. I'm really, really hoping to help you guys out get started on your home studio journey today. So we've all been there. We sit down with our pencil and our paper, or in your notepad, on the computer, wherever you're starting out the idea to write your song. You grab your guitar, you have a couple lyrics, and you start playing something, and you're like, nope, that's something else. That already exists. So then you're like, okay, well, let's try this. Nope, that's something else. That already exists. So then you get into this rut that you think, my goodness, everything's already been written, and it has. Let's be honest with ourselves. You could play the top 40 pop songs with 4 chords, all the exact same way, and you're going to have the exact same songs over and over. You're just changing slight melodies and lyrics for things. It happens. But this is where we can get creative with things. Of course, we're not trying to rip something off directly, and we're not trying to just recreate something that's already been done, but we're trying to express ourselves and make a song that we are proud of and hopefully other people can connect with as well. So I have a really good example for this. Last year in October, I've talked about it before, I put out Wishful Forgetting, but right after, actually it was right before I put out Wishful Forgetting, it was, like a week or two before the release, I looked at my nephew Eli and I was like, you want to record a Christmas album? And he was like, yeah, obviously. And I was like, you want to put it out the day after Thanksgiving? And by this point, it was close to the very end of October. I mean, I'm talking a week before October was done. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, all right. So we start working, and we start essentially the whole album that we put out, and we put it out under the name Floodwater. It's out there. It's called the Holly Jolly album. You guys can listen to it if you want. I'll link it up here at the top corner as well. And I know it's September, so listen, I get it. It's a little early to talk about Christmas music at this point, but as you get to know me, you'll understand.
I have a confession, and here's the thing. I listen to Christmas music every day. Don't know why. It's just ingrained in me that it's one of my happy places. It helps calm me down at the end of the day, relaxes me.
There you go. I still have a Christmas tree off camera over here. Just a little one in the studio. You probably saw it in the Floodwater fireplace for your home. If you haven't seen that, just a little fun we had. I'll link that too. But the title track off of this album, Holly Jolly, I started writing this, and I was playing it for Eli, and he was like, this is just Hey Jude, correct? I was like, it's close. Yeah, I get it with the chord progression. But let's take a listen and let's see exactly how we went from pretty down because we were thinking it was just Hey Jude to what we ended up with. So let's hop into Studio One here. So this is Holly Jolly. This is the full song that's in here. We'll zoom out. You can kind of see everything that went into this. We have a whole lot of background vocals here. It's actually pretty straightforward. We have drums, we have sleigh bells, bass, a couple electrics, acoustics, vocals, and then a whole lot of background vocals. A couple different like glockenspiel and all that fun stuff kind of thrown in there. But let's just take a listen real quick to the acoustic itself. So this is the main idea that I had come up with when I started writing Holly Jolly. All right, so grab some headphones. We want to hear everything pretty accurately, so let's take a listen to this. The transition to the chorus is really where you start to get this Hey Jude feel, right about here. So, again, it's not exactly Hey Jude, but it was close enough to the fact that he was kind of bummed out for everything, and him being bummed out about it made me feel bummed out, because I was like, man, I thought this sounded pretty good when I played the guitar and sang it together. But this whole album was extremely run and gun, and very impressed with the product we got at the end. But you can tell, obviously, it's faster than Hey Jude. It's not the exact feel of Hey Jude, but then you throw in that 7, and it starts to, you're like, oh my goodness, okay, yep, I know exactly what you're saying. So this is what we did. So we start off with the standard acoustic, which is the first thing that we recorded. And then we went in and we added some drums and the bass and everything else. But we've talked about this before, producing out a song. Now, when I spoke about producing before, we were just kind of, shaker and tambourine, just kind of spice some things up, add some flair, take some things away, things of that nature. We did the exact same thing here, but different melodies and hooks with guitars and other things as well, to completely transform the feel of this song, to not make it feel like it's a Beatles song, even though I love the Beatles. My father's British, so I love going into his history and things that he grew up with, but let's take a listen. We're just going to start from the beginning here, and you can kind of feel in the intro itself how we've now strayed away from what could be considered just a straight Beatles song.
A sleigh ride, I will hold you tight.
So you can tell the way that everything kind of comes together, it has now become something than what we originally felt it was. So that's really the biggest challenge in the studio, is if you're in that rut or you're in that slump of everything that I write sounds like something else. It may be true to a degree, but our job as creatives and our job as people who express themselves is make it your own. Again, you don't need to copy everything exactly how it is. Then we're just doing a cover. But even coming in here, one thing that I was trying to counter is the guitar itself. So the acoustic, it's actually, for the tempo of the song, it's a pretty quick strumming pattern. So I wanted to counter the strumming pattern, sticking with that tempo, and kind of cut that down in half, which is where we came in with these electric guitars to kind of just smooth everything out. Now, the lead line in itself, we gave some space in there, so it's not always playing something right away with everything, but giving it that room to breathe while the acoustic is taking care of the full tempo that whole time. So And with the acoustics, how they're kind of a little bouncy, we wanted to give that bounce into that lead line too. And even with the bass itself, just having those long drawn out notes for everything. So when we come in, you can hear it taper off. So the acoustic is busy, but we didn't want everything else to be busy as well. So we're creating that balance here, that drama within the song itself. And then drums, just a straight beat. Of course, it's Christmas, so we add those sleigh bells in there. So as you can tell, it's gone from sounding like it could be mistaken, depending on the situation, as something that it's not. But we've taken this and started to produce it out to a place where once we got that aspect, so we had the drums, the bass, the electrics, and the acoustics. We got to the place where it's like, this is no longer Hey Jude. So let's dive into this. Let's have some fun and really start just enjoying this tune itself, which we started to when we started getting into the background vocals for everything. We'll pop over here and we'll listen to these background vocals. So this is coming in.
I've got some mistletoe waiting for us at home. Your lips against mine, your love, it makes me blind. Commercialized jubilee means nothing to me. Looking at all the lights, it's your love that makes me blind. Red and green up in the tree.
Sorry, I could listen to that all day. It's one of my favorite songs off of the album in general. Honestly, probably one of the favorite songs that I've worked on overall. Just the way that everything came together, it was amazing. And like I said, especially for such a ridiculous deadline that we put on ourselves with, it was a little over a month that we got everything written. I mean, so this was a 7-track album. We wrote 4 originals, and we only recorded 3 traditional Christmas songs, and 1 was just an instrumental. So it was crazy of a deadline to write 4 original Christmas songs, which is, I'll challenge you to try that. Just 1 original Christmas song. It for whatever reason, it's a lot harder than it seems to write a Christmas song. But this is how we took what we thought was a song that was already written, and we transformed it to something that was completely new. So what do you guys think about this? Have you fallen into that feeling of, everything under the sun's been done before, everything's been written before? I mean, obviously it has. We kind of know that. We've talked about that already. But how do you guys get past that? What are some examples that you have overcome this type of situation and produced out something that was simply spectacular as opposed to what you thought it already was? Let me know down in the comments section. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one. But obviously, before then, go record something. See ya.